Hi, friends from around the world. How are you? Let's talk about re-engineering of the social media. I talked about some time ago, a bit superficially. Now I want to back it up with some clear-cut information. Now, I think you by now may have a product, have a service to offer. You think it is a great product and you think you will have a great success on the market. The people will like it, will love it. So that is a good start. I would say it is important that you get to this point, and you are probably in your initiatives and in your idea making and in your business development a big step further, at least a big step further than what 90% of the population. So it is a good thing, independently whether you have success or not. If you don't have success, never mind. You have learned a lot and you have come a long way. Now, you want to taste the sweet taste of success, right? That is what you want. But this will have to develop over time. So I think it is not a good expectation that things develop very quickly and you will have, I don't know, 100 buyers within a week or 1,000 buyers within a week. It can happen. Naturally, it can happen, but this would not be the normal way how things do. Now, my great deception, so to say, was to discover when I did products that the product as such would constitute only some 5 to 10% of the total effort you need to put into the business venture. The 90%, which is still in front of you, would be, well, mainly the marketing, but also all the setup which comes along. So it is a big, I thought it was the other way around. I thought, well, if I have now 90%, so the rest is a bit of marketing and that's it. No, that is not how it works in business. So it is rather the other way around. So my point here is there is still a lot of work ahead of you. And marketing is one big part of it. Now let's come to a possibility of using the social media. So if you have, I don't know, fashion for pregnant women, or you have food for pets, or whatever it is. So you want the general public to be involved. Well, the Facebook, the Instagram and Rumble, so these kind of social media where you have the general public involved, and this would be the general public, right? So there you would be able to get in contact, to create groups, to post photos of your product and to get in touch with, pregnant women, already your population or pet, owners who want. So already, and probably better than me how to do this with Facebook and Instagram and so on. I'm not using that much. But that would be a possibility to go into and to make it happen. Now, what you want to do is, in the beginning, once you get the product, you want to know as soon as possible whether this is something which is running, which is good, which works, the market accepts it, or if it is something, well, it does not work very much. So rather than putting more money into something over 1 year in order to know whether it works or not, what you want to know whether it works within 3-4 months. That is the maximum I would give you in order to deploy some money for that marketing effort. But then you would decide, well, you see the market accepted it, and there are subscribers, there are buyers, whatever, and then you can go along and you can, on the heels of traction, on the heels of success, you would build on to make, I don't know, more effort or perhaps some changes or whatever it is, whatever the market is telling you. Okay, now what would it be for a different venture? And I want to talk you through where you have some professional consumers. So, in Europe we have here the high energy prices at this moment, and admitting hypothetically we have a startup who knows how to lower the bill of the business, the energy bill, by, I don't know, 10%. So there are some questions to be done, and they have 10 factors which can lower the bill or whatever. Or we have the the CO2 emissions, the carbon footprint, so to say, which is limited for business, all types of business in Europe. And if you go beyond what you are expected to, that you can emit into the atmosphere, if it is more than that, then you have to pay fines. And so the startup, they have found a way how to limit these emissions and not to get fined, or even that I can sell my CO2 credits, which I have not used, to others and make some money or whatever. Well, this kind of startup, they want to target professional consumers. That is my point here. So professional consumers, if you want to go to Facebook or if you want to go to Instagram, professional consumers, you will get to, I don't know, 100,000 consumers, but as followers. But what is about the professional consumers you are interested in? They're probably 50 or 20 or, well, nothing which is significant with regard to your product. So how to reach out to these professional consumers, that is my point. I want to go through, and how to use social media and reverse engineer social media so that you get to reach out to these consumers. Now again, you give yourself 3 to 4 months, how many consumers you want to reach. You can probably, if you have, well, depending on the product, right? But here, if you have the possibility to go to, I don't know, to 10,000 potential consumers, that would be for this kind of startup, what I talked you through a moment ago, that would be CEOs or CFOs or the environmental officer of bigger companies, or this kind of people. How do you come to 5,000 or 10,000 of these people in the amount of time, a limited amount of time? The more limited, the better. And that is here the problem you are faced with. And then after 4 months, you may decide, well, it is worthwhile because I have, 100 clients. And that is okay. That is, 1% of all the consumers I've touched upon. Well, then I know this is the market feedback. I put another 10,000 out and I have another 100 subscribers. So that how it works. Now, the professional consumers are all on LinkedIn. So that would be your social media, LinkedIn, in order to reach out to those. And LinkedIn works with connections. So you need, in order to reach out, first to get connected to you. And then on a second level, you can send messages, right? You can send a message by by saying, well, I have that product, but you can make trust building first, and you can perhaps, with a third message to get only to what you really have on offer. But this is the possibility which exists. Now, if you have 10,000 to reach out manually to get to 10,000, this will not comply with your 3-4 months timeline you have in order to get to the sufficient, market feedback if it is good or not. So you need to enhance this to make it automatically. And how can you do this automatically? Well, there are possibilities, but it would need to put some money into it. If it is 500 euros or so, that would be still, I think, reachable amount, a reasonable amount, in order to get the necessary feedback you want in order to market your product or your service. Now, the first thing would be to go to the premium of LinkedIn. That is some $70, and then you get to what is it called, the Sales Navigator, right? The Sales Navigator gives you the possibility to reach out to a total of, it is 700 million or so, which are linked to LinkedIn, right, in all the world. Now you can select them according to a keyword, which you have CO emissions, for example, or the environment, or the energy bill, or whatever it is, and you can reach out to CEO. So CEO would be a possibility, a search possibility within LinkedIn. Then you would have geography. So you can Asia, you can Europe, you can US, you can do Africa, whatever it is. And you may come up with these 10,000 using the search facilities which LinkedIn Sales Navigator gives you as a user. And then you constitute lead lists. Lead lists of 1,000 each, your 10 lists of 1,000 each, perhaps according to geography, perhaps according to the business, the kind of business. So you would probably take the high emissions business first. Well, that is about, depending on what business you're in, that would be the necessity you would need to think through. So you have then 10 lists out of with 1,000 each on Sales Navigator. You are not connected to those 10,000, right? So you would need a second application which is working with LinkedIn, which is Waalaxy, Waalaxy. So, or Prospect In, it was initially being named. So that would be a possibility that you link Waalaxy to your LinkedIn account. You have your lists, 10 lists out with 1,000 each, and you would, one list after another, import the list into Waalaxy, right? That is straightforward. So what I'm telling you here is easy to be done because it has been done by myself, and I'm not an expert in all this. So now you have 10 lists. Well, you have the first list imported into your Waalaxy. In Waalaxy, you can make a campaign. Although that is very easily to be done. There are tutorials on that, and it is very intuitive. So you make a campaign, you start a campaign, and you can you start a campaign with try to connect to those people you have chosen to contact, right? So you make a first link, try to link it to link them to make your friends, so to say, and they accept your LinkedIn request, right? So once in the same campaign, you have three actions. One would be the request for being connected, right? Second would be after a week or so, you would contact them with a message, and perhaps a second message after a second week, only to those which are connected to you. So everything is automated. You don't need to do anything else. So you may, you have then 100 outgoing connection requests and then 100 outgoing mails a day. And so within 3 months, you have reached out to 10,000 consumers. And you get on Wallaxy, and that is an important issue and feedback for you, you get the possibility to have the statistics you need to know from these list of 1,000 or from the second list of 1,000, what is the rate of connection to your account. So you may have 30-40% of connection success, and then so from 10,000, 40%, 4,000 are connected to you. So these are now potential consumers to which you can reach out now directly, either through the further campaign or through direct messages, which you can now do through the LinkedIn. So then you get the feedback not only from the LinkedIn connection request, but also from your messages. What kind of messages you would send? Well, the first message would not say, well, I have this product, it is very good, please buy it. You need to have some trust building. So your strategy not only is this connection, but you must have in your strategy also built in some trust building. So customer review or the explanation of your product and some free examples, I don't know, some kind of discount. You may have a kind of discount for a certain reason, for launching the product or whatever. Some kind of trust building in the first message that must be incorporated in order to get some traction, and perhaps some possibility to talk to some clients or potential clients, right? To talk to them in order to get their feedback on the phone, to say, well, this is interesting, but I'm rather interested in this or in that, and then you can refine your product and make it better in order to respond better to the market necessities which have been defined by your potential clients. So this is it. And if you have success, okay, the market feedback is important. If you have success, well, everything is great, right? If you don't have success, that is great again. Then you would stop that product or that service you would have, or you would refine it. But you have a market feedback, and you will not plow money after money into that because you think it is great, but the market think it is not great. So the market feedback, the market wins, right? The market feedback is no, and then you can move on as well. So it is important to make the market here and to market here in the shortest possible of time, and that is a possibility to make a direct marketing to professional consumers within a limited time, which limits also your expenses. So you would have $70 times 4, that is 280, and another for the LinkedIn Premium, and from the Wallaxy another something like that. So it makes you 500. So $500, that is reasonable, I think, in order to get the pulse of the market and to know whether your product is a good one or you should move on. Thanks for tuning in.